So, my name is Rebecca Castle, and I'm going to be talking about my final for communication and gender for Professor Jennifer Morrison's class at San Jose State University. Um, so, this presentation is really going to be about what, how I think gender is communicated. And the way I think gender is communicated is by social norms. It's by the way you dress, the way you act, and by those actions, that is what determines your gender. So, for instance, if I were to wear this hat this way or backwards, I could be labeled as what? Lesbian. But if I were to wear this, I'm girly. Now, gender doesn't have to, doesn't necessarily have to do with um, the gay community, lesbian community, but it does have to do with how we perceive ourselves, and that's why I wanted to bring that up. I think gender is all about labels, how society puts everybody into categories, and I think it's more of a comfort thing for everybody. I mean, personally, I think that having labels helps because then we can communicate easier with, if I'm talking about a certain person and I need to get across like what they look like, how they act, their sexual identity, their race, it helps, but doesn't necessarily define who they are as a person for me personally. I think gender is really, it's important to know, but I don't think it defines us completely. So, for instance, for our journal number 1 entry, I wrote on a Wordle page, and I wrote down every word that I think defines gender. So, a few of the words that I picked that I will tell you: hair, dresses, football, death, Barbies, rap, sports, feminine, yellow, Legos, decorations, fitness, bathrooms, money, pink, metal, clean, boy, long, trans, gay, aggressive, women, ties, cars, piercings, flamboyant, passive, purses, facial, leader, cook, blue, girl, ballet, butch, and flower. Those are all words that I believe kind of define different genders. So those were just my opinion. For me, I had an instance at work, like two weeks ago, where someone asked me if I was a lesbian because of the way that I act and the way that people see me and the way that people perceive the way I act is that I'm very laid back. I'm more of a tomboy. I'm all about sports. I don't wear too much makeup. I don't wear attire that is very girly. Like when I go out, I wear like a skirt and a shirt, but I don't wear high heels. So a coworker asked if I was a lesbian because of these traits that apparently I give off, which was so interesting to me, and it made me look back or it made me just reflect on how other people perceive me and how I perceive myself. And to be honest, I don't really care because I'm really comfortable with the way I act, the way I dress, the people I associate myself with. And I mean, I identify as a female, but I tend to dress towards and act towards more of a male stereotype. And that's okay with me. And that should be okay with other people, but that doesn't mean that I'm a lesbian or there's the term lipstick lesbian, which means like she's a lesbian, but she dresses more and acts more like a girly girl rather than a butch lesbian, which was one of the words that I just read from my Wordle. Um, anyways, um, getting back to gender, um, I also wrote a journal entry about the gym, Bally's Total Fitness, actually, which was in downtown San Jose. And let me just read what I wrote. There are a few sections of the gym that you see distinct differences in genders. In the entrance, where the Stairmaster, elliptical, and treadmills are, there are mostly females on those machines. Upstairs in the weightlifting room, I call it the man cave. Because it is a lot of males sweating, headphones attached, pumping iron, and peacocking their bodacious bods. The gym is a place to work on your physical appearance. Generally, for males, weightlifting is to gain stronger and bigger muscles, and that is something that society has instilled as sexy or in. Um, it is how the males become more attractive to females. For females, it is about looking thin and slim. It is incredible how different males and females work out and where they physically work out inside the gym. And then I just wrote a little piece saying that I don't feel personally intimidated going towards the free weights like in the man cave and taking up the bench, which is normally taken up by a male. I understand now that a female who wants to tone up and be a little bit more masculine is uncomfortable. It is not normal to societal standards. Like you see those girls who are those women who are in those bodybuilders, and they do those bodybuilding competitions, and that's supposed to be like a masculine thing, but why can't females do it? And then another thing I wrote is the males tend to wear baggier attire, such as basketball shorts and big shirts, something that I always wear. And the females lean towards a tighter fit, like yoga pants and tight tank tops. This type of difference defines gender because the way a person dresses does label them into a preference. I may contradict myself, but when I work out, I like to wear baggier attire. I do not like to wear yoga pants or tight fit shirts. However, I do identify myself as a female. And I will always reiterate that because no matter what I dress, how I talk, where I come from, who I associate myself with, it has nothing to do with my gender. It's just who I am. And I will always identify myself as a female. Um, like I've said before about the labeling, this topic is very interesting to me, but I am very conflicted with the labeling. People are who they are, feel what they feel, and act how they act, which is what I just said. Why do we put people into a category? I understand it helps those who do not understand other people's way of life, but I still disagree with the actual concept of labeling. And this is just kind of like the theme of this video because I totally disagree with labeling. Yes, it's comfortable to know like this person to this person, this type to this type, this culture to this culture, but we all need to just get to know each other on a personal level rather than labels. I think gender labeling is a way for people to feel comfortable. Like if someone who is transgendered and they're unclear of, you know, identifying as a male or identifying as a female, that's the most conflicting thing I think anyone could go through, being born into the wrong body. But by having, this is where I can contradict myself, by having labels for those types of situations for those people, it is easier for them to fit into societal standards and social norms for them to identify as a female or a male. Anyways, this was a really great class, and I learned a lot about myself, a lot about the world, a lot about gender, a lot about labeling, which I have learned to not like. And yeah, I really enjoyed this class. I thought it was beneficial. And that's it. Thank you.